Hi YouTube, NetLoyd80 here. I just wanted to do my big announcement video I've been talking about. I just wanted to put it out there. I am bisexual. I am officially completely out of this closet I've been hiding in for so long. This video is probably going to be pretty rushed because I'm having one hell of a time getting this thing to fit under 10 minutes. This is probably the 12th time I've tried this. So I'll try to move through what I wanted to talk about fairly quickly. The point of the video really is to help others that are possibly going through the same things that I have. The first thing I wanted to touch on is that this isn't a choice. Being who you are is not a choice. It's just the way you are. I'm 33 years old and I'm just coming out now. If it was a choice, believe me, I'd still be straight. I wouldn't be doing this video right now. So that's one thing to take into consideration. I tried to hide it even from myself for many, many years, and it wasn't going to happen. It didn't change. Nothing changed. All I ended up doing was hiding who I was from everybody around me, which isn't really a good way to go. You end up with a ton of stress, and it makes it very hard to maintain really positive relationships because you're never really showing who you truly are to people. So there's always going to be that little gap of disconnection. The other thing that is difficult for people is religion. If you've been brought up in religion, you're basically brought up to believe that any same-sex interaction in a romantic fashion is wrong. That just simply isn't true. It was actually socially acceptable for most of history. It's only been in the last few hundred years that it's really been shunned by society. Roman times it was very common for men specifically to go out and be with other men, and it was completely fine as long as they eventually got married and had a wife, and had kids. So that's something to consider. I mean, it hasn't always been this way. It's just been the religious fervor of the last few hundred years that have really caused this to be an issue. The next thing that I want to touch on, again, I know this is extremely rushed, is that God made us this way for a reason. I mean, it's obviously, as I said, it's not a choice. You can't change it. God made us this way for a reason. If you are religious, that should tell you it can't be. If He made us this way, it can't be wrong. So that's something to keep in mind. And as far as dealing with people, the fear of rejection by the people around you. If your friends aren't able to accept you for who you really are, they're not really your friends to begin with. Friends accept their friends for who they are, not whether or not they fit into some category or specific viewpoint. One of my things on my MySpace page says, "Love me for me." I am who I am. You can accept me or you can reject me. If you reject me, it's your loss. I am a good person. Being bisexual doesn't change that. We just have a little, being bisexual, we just have more options. So, that's something to consider. You really, from a personal perspective, you really need to be able to be yourself. Be open. You'll be a lot less stressed and you'll be a lot happier in the long run because you're not trying to hide who you are. You're not constantly second-guessing yourself, which is what I did. I was constantly worried about saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing. And in the end, once it finally came out, I found it wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. I had the misconception, because I read it all over the place, that I would probably be shunned by not only the straight community, but also the gay community, and that just simply wasn't true. The gay community, even though I'm bi, has been extremely supportive. That they're, I can talk about the issues that concern me because specifically coming out and a lot of the issues associated with it, it's the same. The only difference is that we happen to like the opposite sex as well as the same sex. It just makes it it's a little more complicated, but it doesn't change the fact that the issues are still pretty much the same. It's the same sex interaction that is the problem from a stigma standpoint. Beyond that, family, I would say that most families will accept you. There will be exceptions to that, and in some cases it will be difficult for them to adjust to the idea and to be able to come to terms with it on their own, but I believe that most do end up coming around at some point or other. And I've been hearing stories all over the place where it's not anywhere near as bad as people make it out to be. It wasn't for me. I mean, my parents were completely supportive. Another thing that has helped me is that I have someone in my life that has been very supportive of me from the get-go. She actually accepted my sexuality before I even was able to. She never pushed me for anything, but she was always there to help nudge me along and, help me come to terms with it, and has been extremely supportive, from the get-go. And, if you can find somebody that's like that in your life, definitely, use that resource, because it will help immensely. As I said, they're not mobs outside my door. The world hasn't come to an end because I've come out and I'm being open. There are homophobes out there, and there are small-minded people that won't be able to accept you, but that's going to be true no matter who you are or what you do. There are always going to be people that way. You're going to see it more often if you're gay or bisexual, but unfortunately, it's an unfortunate reality of our situation. And the more people come out, and the more common this becomes, the better that's going to get for the next generation. 20 years ago was a lot worse than it is today. Today I don't feel fear walking down the street. I don't fear putting this out on the internet. A lot of people still do. I don't. That's just me. But I did want to say, just trying to wrap this up so I'm hopefully under 10 minutes this time, that there are a bunch of resources out there. Find them, use them, talk to people. I'm not going to put the links up on here or mention them specifically in this video, just because I don't want to get them. I don't want to get the places flooded with homophobes that just want to give people crap. But if you contact me and you're having problems, I'll do whatever I can to help, and if I can't, I'll try to point you in the right direction. So I guess that's pretty much covers my basic points anyway. I couldn't really elaborate too much, but if you got any more questions, feel free to give me a shout. You can get me through YouTube or MySpace. It's the same username on both, and I'm going to put links over on the side. Talk to you later, guys.